Hello. Hello, I'm Deck Save Dan, and I'm going to show you how to level up your session recaps.
Level up!
So at the start of your sessions, it's part of your job as a GM to make sure everyone's up to speed. Maybe the last session had a lot going on. Maybe it had some intricate plot-heavy details.
The Warlock told us to head east to find the Seer Stone.
Maybe someone had too much pizza and beer and fell into a food coma. You know who you are. I don't forget. I'll never forget. Never. Maybe you only meet every couple of months and it's hard to remember what happened.
I don't know.
Whatever went on, you want your players to know what's already happened so they can focus on what's going to happen. Also, it's important for them to know to move things forward. The simplest way of doing a recap, or previously on
Buffy the Vampire Slayer,
is to talk your players through what happened in the last session. Some make notes as the game goes on. I tend to write some key information and then do my main note writing of the previous session the next day. Another way is for a player to make notes, or to scribe. This means the player makes notes as the session goes along. And you as the GM fill in any holes that they might have missed. As a player in one of my campaigns, I act as scribe. And my notes get progressively ineligible and funnier the drunker I get. Trust me, the drunker I get, the funnier I get. Just ask my GM. It's become quite the event at the start of a session, going through my scrappy notes, trying to figure out what's gone on in the last session, but it is a laugh. There is another way, however. It certainly takes more effort, but if talking your players through at the start of a session is level 1, then this is definitely level 20. I'm talking about a video recap. That's right, a video recap. That's right, a video recap. It's a video that you or someone in your group makes to explain what happened in the last session. Let me give you an example.
After blasting the door with lightning, the Rodimus Primes ascend steps, emerging in a cavernous room supported by 2 ancient pillars, covered in rune carvings. The children are trapped in a pentagram as the shaman casts his spell.
Now I know what you're thinking. Dan, that's a lot of effort. You know how I feel about effort. And yes, it can be, but it doesn't have to be. You don't have to go to town on fancy graphics and visual effects. You don't need to be Thelma Shoemaker. She edits Martin Scorsese's films. You just need something that you can cut videos together with and add a voiceover. There's apps on your phone that can do this. Your computer probably came with some free editing software.
Listen to this. You get an iMac, of course, get your digital video camera, hook it up, and start iMovie.
If not, there's free software you can download. You might have a mate, like Tui, who's a wizard on Premiere Pro. And can knock out a video super quick. Now there are definite benefits to having a video recap, and I'm going to give them to you in a list. Number 1, you don't need to spend precious session time getting everyone up to speed. You can just crack on and play. Number 2, if you keep updating the video, then you've got a recap that goes right back to the start, so players can remember stuff that happened months, even years ago. Number 3, when the campaign's over, it's a beautiful reminder of what's happened. A movie of your own creation. A little keepsake you could show your grandkids if they're not busy on their hoverboards or burning alive from the effects of global warming. Comment below. To give you some ideas on how a recap video could look, here's some recap videos of different edit skill levels and different campaign styles.
The party arrived in a small town. They went to an apothecary to get medicine. Chell used his silver tongue to get a good deal. Outside, a bugbear appears. It leaps at Elsandra as she exits the shop. There's a fight, and the bugbear is slain.
The weary travelers finally reach the river, but upon finding the bridge destroyed, must form another plan. Murdoch takes his great axe and sets to work felling trees. The others work together, binding them with strips of ivy. As nightfall comes, they watch the sun set behind the castle, which has been their destination for so long.
An arrow flies through the air, striking Pendle in the shoulder. Blood oozes from the wound, and he falls to his knees. Seeing this, Kalmara rushes to his aid with her healing potion, but is unable to administer it. Fung draws his gun and shoots at the raider. His bullet misses, cracking against the wall.
Garwin approaches the king courteously. When he's standing in front of him, he bows deeply before kicking his royal highness in the nuts with all his might. The king falls to his knees, clutching his balls. His face turns red and tears roll from his eyes. "Take that, you prick," Garwin laughs, and his allies gather around him, swords drawn and pointed towards his majesty.
Edermeyer takes the lead as they fumble through the darkness. His last match is dangerously low. They must find the exit fast. A howl rings out from behind them and they turn. There's just time to see a dim glow in a wolf's eyes before the flame winks out. A low growl cuts through the darkness, getting closer and closer.
They enter the tavern. At one table sits a group of halflings, another a gang of dwarves. In the far corner, two men sit. The room falls silent. They know these newcomers by reputation. One of the men stands and draws his sword. The dwarves and halflings are quick to leave. Mataratok tries to calm the situation, but the men don't want to listen. They cry out, "In the name of King Iain," and attack.
So there you go. I 100% recommend that you give it a try. It's something that I do and my players absolutely love it. When I say I do it, I don't do it. I get Tui to do it. His rates are very reasonable. If you do end up making a recap video, send me a link. I'd love to watch it. And in the spirit of you showing me yours, I'll show you mine. At the end of this video is a link to watch one of my recap videos. Check it out. Tell me how much you hate it. Tell me how banal and pointless it is. Thanks for watching today's video. Like, subscribe, unsubscribe, comment, thumbs down, do you, whatever. And I'll see you next time.